Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of uranium exposure. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Uranium-corrupted automechs open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. No, we wouldn't. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Uranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the uranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Auntie's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Uranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. True, the facility was disrupted, but it was not undone. The Protectorate saw to that. When disorder looms its ugly head, the Protectorate relies on its people to maintain and restore that order. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I need that gas leak fixed. Otherwise, my automechs might as well be paperweights. While I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, that assurance does not alleviate the grim tidings felt in the pit of my bowels. Loyalty and instinct run hand in hand. I'm a Protectorate man, after all. So why should I be ill at ease, despite our stalwart chain of command and dependable kin at the helm? No matter. My unease is nothing when measured against the strength of the Protectorate.
Might be wise to get that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
What about you?
Uranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride.
Yes. Let's have a look at you. No signs of uranium exposure, or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Don't have my... Yes, another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displays standard overload. Apologies, I must concentrate on my work. Maybe one of the others can help you.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with uranium gas? Perhaps I should take that as a no. I could speak at length about uranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from uranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Yes, quite right. And let me tell you, it was astoundingly difficult to dial in the resonance. Luckily, the difficult work is behind us. There are only a smattering of ancillary details still to be hashed out. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray uranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a uranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense uranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of uranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Commander? I think this stuff is eating my lungs from the inside.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate uranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Yes? She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ? One catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Be seeing you, stranger.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donelson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do that. Anything to keep him off my back for an hour.
What can I do for you this time? I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to Zeranium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak.
Yeah.
Ready to take the heat off.
I hope you brought me good news, outsider.
Medic, happy to help. Discreetly, out of sight and on the way.
Run into trouble? Fortunately for you, if you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to this uranium? I'll mark it down as haphazard meandering then. All too common these days. More dangerous than one might think. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise.
Take a look at those corpses they've got strung up. Wait,
No, he went off to relieve
Someone
himself.
did.
But I reckon that was a
This
handful
is
of hours ago.
protectorate territory, all
You
right.
don't think he took it
Ain't
literal,
looking to
like when we
instigate
told him to jump in a rift, do you?
But if these bastards make any threat on my person, no promises.
I mean, it is Gary.
I don't care where they post me, as long as it's as far from those horrifying rifts as possible.
Guns cocked.
Me up. I'd do it for you.
Commander, watch your back!
Back in business.
You're back, and in one piece. I assume you have good news and haven't forgotten where you were going or what you were supposed to be doing? I was hoping for at least one, but both at once? Exceptional. None of my lab assistants are ever this efficient. And since you're so good at this, I have another job for you. There's a type of rare mineral called ferrochromium. It's yellowish in color and typically forms in rocky, mountainous areas or caverns. Our data points to the east coast of the island, the far southwest, and just this side of the ravine, almost straight north of here. Same rules as before. You keep what you find. You were born for this! Oh, this is so exciting.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's warped. Like everything else.
All these rifts got everyone riled up.
Why does even the slightest scintilla of success so elude me?
Leave me be. I have no interest in dealing with the machinations of you dark marketers today.
Never been the type to sit behind a desk all day. What, when I could stand behind a bar?
Your Auntie Cleo needs to spark some